So you have to shut down your light so that they can be comfortable. That's an insecure person. Number 4 is a manipulative person. So they kind of tie into a controlling person, but they're more they're more subtle, okay? They're not like overtly, aggressively controlling and, shouting and trying to intimidate you or whatnot. They use manipulation instead to get you to do what they want you to do. All sorts of different types of manipulation. So whether it is guilt tripping is probably one of the most common ones, right? They make you feel like you're a bad person. They make you feel like you're inconsiderate. They make you feel guilty, in summary, so that you'll do what they want you to do. They could use blackmail, okay, where they're toying with your emotions. They could use gaslighting, so messing with your reality, making you feel like things happened differently from the way they actually happened, okay, twisting the circumstances around to favor them and making themselves feel like the victim. So they did something to offend you, but by the time you've had a conversation with them, they've made out that they were the ones that were offended. They've made out that somehow you have wronged them. So they're messing with your sense of reality, essentially, right? They could use withdrawing of emotional needs. So they try to make you feel bad by isolating you, by actively rejecting you. They stop talking to you, they ignore you. All sorts of those things to make you feel bad and to make you eventually end up doing things the way they want you to do them. Whether it's emotional needs, whether it's physical needs, they withdraw a need that they know that you have to force you to do what they want. They could use intimidation, where they make you feel bad by showing off all the good things that they're doing, all the great things that they have. They make you feel inferior to them in some kind of way. There's so many different types of ways that they can intimidate you or make you feel intimidated. They could also use fear, making you feel fearful, painting a picture to cause you to be afraid so that you will do things the way they want you to do, and making you feel that their option is the safe option and anything outside of their option is a terrible option that will bring about terrible consequences. So they're messing with your mind. They are manipulating your mind using fear so that you will do what they want you to do. That's a manipulative person. Very toxic. Number 5, a self-centered person. This is a person who lives like and acts like the world evolves around them. They have not given a second thought to anything that is outside their sphere of existence. They just can't imagine, that there is anything of value beyond them, anything that matters, anything that needs to be paid attention to outside of them. Everybody in this world has to tailor their lives and their actions to the way that suits them. You can't tell those people, oh no, I'm so sorry, I can't make this appointment. What? You mean you cannot come to what I have put in place? What are you doing that is as important as what I am inviting you to? Those types of people, you can't say, oh, sorry, I'm not able to do this. What? You mean you have something else, that is more important than what I am asking you to do? How dare you have a life of your own? Those types of people, they are full of themselves and they think that everybody needs to abide to their rules, regulations. They cannot accept that other things may be going on in people's lives which will mean that they're not able to attend to you at certain times or to fulfill a certain thing that they're asking of. That concept just doesn't exist for those people. That's a very self-centered person. Also, those types of people also tend to be very envious and jealous, or definitely cannot accept somebody that they feel is better than them in any way, shape or form. You know, it's also similar to, they're also insecure people. You know, all those people ever think about is themselves. They don't give a thought or a consideration for other people, other people's struggles, other people's challenges, other people's lives, other people's needs. Those things don't matter. So that's a self-centered person. And those are 5, there are many more, but those are, 5 that I've come up with of people that you definitely do not want around you and you don't want in your space. But you see, the reality of the matter is that we have all exhibited at least one, if not more, of those traits in our own lives. And why is that? Because nobody was born ready-made. Nobody was born with a perfect character. Nobody was born knowing all of these things, knowing that this is not good. This is the way somebody should be. And so actually it's a journey that we all have to go on in terms of looking inwards. So whilst we're looking outwards to identify these toxic traits in other people and to keep them out of our space, we also need to look inwards and identify toxic traits that may still be in us and work on them to eliminate them out of our own lives. Because there's no use keeping toxic people away whilst we ourselves are toxic. You know what I mean? So we've also got to look inwards whilst we are looking outwards. And it's a journey that everybody needs to go on, including the Christians. Or should I say, especially the Christians, those who call themselves saved and born again. Because sometimes they think that somehow their being saved makes them sort of free from all these vices and all these traits, but unfortunately many times that is just not true, because it is their spirit that was saved, but the soul is a result of all the baggage of your life as a non-believer before you gave your life to Christ. All the baggage, all your behaviors, all your attitudes, all of that makes up your soul, and it doesn't look very good even after your spirit has been saved. So you got to go on that journey of removing all those, with the help of God, with the help of the Holy Spirit, removing all those toxic traits, behaviors, attitudes, characters from your life, from our lives, especially as believers, because now we are representing God. And what a shame for somebody who is saved and born again to still be exhibiting traits of toxicity that even other Christians, or even worse, other unbelievers, they can't stand being anywhere near you. They have to put you outside of their space because you're toxic. So it's a journey that we've all got to go on, every single human. Also, I just want to add, forgiving somebody does not mean that you don't put boundaries with that person. I feel like this is one of the biggest misconceptions that people have, and actually especially Christians, because we are so worried about keeping God's commandment, which is very good, about loving other people and forgiving and so forth, that somehow we think that forgiveness equates just completely having a boundaryless life.